What's going on, everyone? It's the Fanduel Futures Day Betting Extravaganza here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by Fanduel. We got a jam-packed 2-hour show for you today. 13 guests, plenty of futures given out from a wide variety of markets, including NFL and a couple other sports as well. Jacob, we have a load of guests to talk about here. If you can bring up those guests in a couple seconds, I just want to quickly preview that today, all day on FanDuel. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've been glued to FanDuel all day because they're boosting different futures markets for the NFL. Earlier today, we had a Super Bowl market that was boosted, including exactas, as well as they also had some make-miss playoff markets, which I was able to release on Twitter for those who don't follow me on Twitter. Do you have the scheduled guest list from Twitter right now that you can pull up for me? I know I'm asking you for this on the fly. I just want to let everyone know and run through who we got because we're leading off with G-Stack George. We got tons of other people, tons of other regulars.
Maybe we should leave a little bit for the audience to a little bit of suspense. I will say a couple of the people that you will see. You're going to see G-Stack George up first. You're going to see CEO of the Hammer, Rob Pizzola, a little bit later on, as well as Joey Kesh if he does show up, and maybe some surprises in there as well.
Yeah, I got the -110 on Joey Kesh not showing up there. It's going to be a coin flip. Anyways, tons of fun today. Going to be giving out around 13, 14 futures, depending on how the guests are feeling. But before we get into the show, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at FanDuel. Listen up, it's finally here. Futures Day is happening right now on FanDuel. It's 24 hours of boosts, bonuses, and bragging rights on your football season picks. If you want to do a straight up over on win totals for your favorite team, go for it. If you're going to do a 8 division winner, you can parlay that too. If you want to copy buy picks, awesome. You can do that as well. Whatever your game is, you choose on how you play it over on FanDuel, and make sure you check back in the app every 3 hours for special flash deals on football futures. Right now, they have a special deal on team wins. So if you're looking to do win totals, now's the time to bet it over on FanDuel. Head over to FanDuel, claim your Futures Day promo, and lock in your picks. FanDuel, play your game. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. 19 plus and physically located in Ontario, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Call Connex Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 or visit connexontario.ca. Listen, I'm seeing already some bets in the chat. I'm looking forward to talking about those in a little bit, but before you can talk in the chat, you guys need to be subscribed to the channel. This is a new channel we're rolling out. I'm going to be here every Monday to Friday starting September 5th for a daily show running at noon Eastern time for about 1 hour. It's going to be me, a couple other guests, a lot of fun, called the Hammer Daily. So welcome to the Hammer Daily. Welcome to the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so you can comment and we can read your comments throughout the show. First guest, he's here right now. He's early. He's prompt. We've missed him a little bit on the Hammer Betting Network. We haven't seen him for a little while. So excited to talk to him. We'll call it the debut of G-Stack, return of the stack, G-Stack George. Jacob, if you want to bring him up here. George, welcome back to the Hammer Betting Network. We missed you.
Jason, thanks for having me. I get to christen your show as your first guest now that you've taken over the Hammer YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I'm excited for a lot of the content we're going to be doing together because we have watch-alongs to do. We have forward progress, a lot of stuff in the pipeline, George. I'm excited to do that with you. I know you're a big football guy, and that's your main focus. I also know you're a Dolphins fan. I need to get your take on the Dolphins this year. Are you high on them, low on them? Because we've done some drafts in the offseason on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. And in those drafts, there was a team wins draft. There was a Super Bowl winner draft where we tried to pick teams that would have the most team wins, have them win the Super Bowl. And shockingly, you weren't really a fan of the Dolphins in those drafts. So are you a fake fan or what's going on here?
You know what? I've gotten this reputation of being a homer because I throw in a couple of wheeze. But I've never told people to go out and bet the Dolphins. I've been very level-headed about how good this team is. And again, I'm not very optimistic about a high ceiling. I also think the team's being a little bit disrespected because I don't believe their floor is as bad as everybody says.
Yeah, usually teams with a bad offensive line or really bad secondary, those teams usually tend to have high floors, right? So I got to throw my jabs in there.
This might be the best Dolphins line in a few years. I know everybody's looking at like Terran Armstead is gone, but we've actually invested in the O-line finally.
I mean, best offensive line in a few years. Is that really saying
much?
Yeah,
it's not saying much. Bottom 5 to like maybe bottom 10.
All right. That's all right. So futures bet. Let's make our way towards that. I mean, no Miami Dolphins in your futures betting portfolio, at least for this pick. You don't have the Miami Dolphins here. Who do you have for the first bet, for the inaugural bet of the Hammer Daily Futures Day Betting Extravaganza? Who do you like and why?
I have a question for you first, Jason. When you get to a swimming pool, do you dip your toe in to feel if the water's cold, or you just plunge right in?
I plunge right in head first.
Okay, so do I. And you know what? I have been saying I am off the voodoo. I do not believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm just going to plunge right in, and I'm just going to take an aggressive stance and like call this team very fraudulent. Let's start with the good, because I don't believe there's much. I believe they still do have one of the best front sevens, one of the best pass rushing duo. Their secondary, they added Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. Maybe it's a talent upgrade. I see an aging cornerback group that's going to get toasted by a lot of fast receivers, and their numbers have never been good. Like every year, it's the same story. It feels like last year, 26th in offensive success rate, 20th in defensive success rate, 15th in defensive yards per play. Just everywhere, they're not a top 10 in any metric, but the one that there always is second in turnover differential at plus 16. I'll tell you what I don't like about the team. I think the bottom of this could be really, really ugly. There's an assumption about Aaron Rodgers is going to come in and at least be better, but I'm not quite sure. This O-line, they're asking for a lot of guys to be playing at the best case outcome. Broderick Jones, they're assuming he's going to be good at left tackle. He hasn't been thus far. They're hoping Troy Fautanu, their first round pick last year, is going to be good. He played 55 snaps last year. We don't know. They have a good center, a good left guard. Their right guard's a huge question mark. And then you go, okay, what about DK Metcalf? And is that an upgrade at receiver? The problem I find with it is I don't know if it's a mesh of play styles, also with Arthur Smith's play style and what he's calling. Aaron Rodgers last year was 29th in intended air yards per attempt. He lived off the check down. He was actually like 6th most yaks. The Jets built an offense that flowed everything underneath. DK Metcalf, if you're properly using his skill set, he was like 15th in average depth to target, like 15th best receiver. I don't know that they're going to have the down the field shots, and I don't like the rest of their weapons. I don't like Calvin Austin. I don't like Roman Wilson. I don't like Ben Skoranek. Sure, they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel with their 2 tight ends, but I don't know that this is going to be an exciting offense. And frankly, it's not going to be a hard offense to defend against. I think if you crouch down and you pound the box, I don't know that they have an outlet. Whereas last year, Russ had a couple deep shots to George Pickens that made things interesting. That being said, I am going to take a stand here on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't just want their under 8.5 wins. I want you to pull up their win board, because I think that's not aggressive enough. I like some of the prices on their alts, because my theory is I like their ceiling to me is that 9.5 win mark. I think they're already being priced too close to their ceiling. My official play for this stream is I want under 7.5 wins plus 155, but I also think under 6.5 plus 270 and even under 5.5 plus 500 are worth a stab. For the official play, I'll go 7.5. I won't get too greedy. I'm gonna give everybody a nice plus money winner, but I want to ladder down, because I think the bottom of this is a lot more ugly than people are considering.
Yeah, under 7.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers, priced right now at plus 155 on FanDuel. But if you're logged in and you have the Futures Day promo going for you, you get a little bit of a boost on the win total market. So there you go, George, giving it to the people, helping people out on Futures Day, giving out a win total right in the perfect window when the win totals are boosted. George, you mentioned it off the top, but like, I'm just shocked at this, because like, you don't believe in voodoo. You're not a voodoo guy.
No, I got my garlic ready. I am I am out on the voodoo. Enough's enough. I've seen the end of the rope for the voodoo and the dark magic. They can no longer fool everybody. The numbers are going to have to regress, and their record is going to have to regress to their play style. I don't believe you can live fat and happy off, being top 3 in turnover differential every year. I'm going to bet against it. I am calling aggressively against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I love that. Flag planted. What did you say? Something about George Armstrong and Moon? I don't know. Is it? We mentioned it in a couple of videos.
I want the smoke. The Steelers.
Yeah, there we go.
They are a bad group of fan base. They love to attack people with their yellow towel. I'm not buying it. I don't give a damn. I am against Pittsburgh. I'm flag planting hard here. You guys are not going to be good this year.
I love it. And I'm curious when I have to look forward to the schedule because I wonder when they play on Thursdays because George, I don't know if the people know, but we got a live watch along for Thursdays, and me and you are going to be on it.
And we're going to give away a lot of unders in the Pittsburgh Thursdays. Pittsburgh unders.
All right, love it. What other shows are you doing this year? Do you know? Do you have that off the top of your head, just so that people know where they can find you?
Yeah, we've got a nice schedule release coming up. We're going to have some really good stuff on Forward Progress. We're going to have 2 best bet show, an early best bet show and a later in the week best bet show, and I will be hosting one of them with a couple of really good guys. We will. I miss you, Cottage. You were one of my favorites.
George's burners.
I am the best first guest of all time. Since I'm in a management position in the Hammer, I said I'm going to book myself to go first. This is you throw your power around when you have that opportunity.
Yeah, you got to do that. All right. Well, George, appreciate you coming on. A lot of fun being the first guest. If you want to follow George on Twitter, check him out at George Silifides on Twitter, at George Silifides. Good luck spelling that. Maybe if we can bring that back up on screen for the people because, yeah, there it is. George Silifides on Twitter, or Director of Marketing for the Hammer, host of Forward Progress. And in my notes, it says recently drafted a terrible fantasy team. So anyways, George, maybe we can talk.
I'm looking forward to this whole show. Honestly, 2 hours of guests giving out futures, and Fanduel's been boosting stuff all day. Just an awesome day. This is that first official. We are back in NFL season. We got an engagement too. Like, man, you better ask Mr. Peanut Better what he thinks about it.
Oh, I have that loaded up. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it, George. George, thank you so much for joining us.
Take care.
All right, see you, George. That was George Silifides, everyone, of the Hammer Betting Network, director of the Hammer Betting Network. Director of Marketing, at the Hammer Betting Network, host of Forward Progress, and all those sorts of things. Up next, we have, I think, my favorite German person I've ever met in my entire life. Good friend of the show. You see him usually on Forward Progress. He is probably one of the best NFL bettors in all of Germany. Jacob, let's bring up Fabian Sommer, people's champ right here. Everybody loves Suma because we love the Germans out here. Suma, how's your offseason been?
Great so far. Summer's coming to an end. It wasn't the greatest one in Germany. Not the greatest weather. Slowly coming down, and getting ready for football season. I expected Rob, to be honest. So, but I really, really like to see you as well, Jason. So I'm happy to see your face.
Yeah, Rob's still in off-season mode. He wasn't. He's not ready just yet to host anything right now. He's still kind of out of it. He's still in June. Doesn't realize that it's August. Suma, what's your favorite thing that you look forward to leading up to NFL season? What do you miss the most of, like, the process of betting on the NFL and things of that nature, and just the games themselves?
To be honest, I just like that it's all starting right now. I mean, preseason, it's the preseason, but really, I don't know, waking up on a Thursday morning and knowing that there was a game on Thursday night, even though I might not watch it because it's like 2:30 a.m. in the morning. But I just like living through football season, watching the primetime games, either live during the night or in the morning, drinking my morning coffee. And then Sunday evenings or Sunday nights, my time are the most fun ever, like starting in September.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. I got to ask before we get into your bet here. Are you going to be going to the German game, the Colts Falcons? Because I believe you were there last year or 2 years ago, was it?
No.
You're not going to go, eh?
It's insane to get tickets.
Okay.
Really insane.
How?
I think it's Munich and Berlin. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the Berlin game, I think it was possible to get some tickets, but there's a queue with like, I don't know, 280,000 people lining up to get tickets for that. So it's like a 1 in 6 chance if you like sign up before and get your credentials ready. And yeah, it's really crazy. These games in Germany are selling out so quickly. It's insane. I think that I don't know, it was the Chiefs Dolphins game in Frankfurt like 2 seasons ago. That was something where it was like, I don't know, 12 minutes. It was sold out. And I guess it was only 12 minutes because their servers were not like running up to speed or something. Mm-hmm. So insane.
I feel like you should get some kickbacks. I feel like you were early on the NFL in Germany there. I feel like you kind of started the wave, it seems like, because you were so early on the NFL. But speaking of the NFL, let's get into your future right now. You're looking towards the win total market. Again, boosted on Fanduel for Futures Day for the next 2 hours. So yeah, tell us a little bit about this future that you like.
Yes, rolling the dice on the Las Vegas Raiders. I sneakily high on their offense this season, going with over 6.5 wins. I'm a little bit higher here. When you look at their defensive depth chart, there's a lot of pain while watching it, while looking at it, but I really like their offense. I think I'm slightly higher on Geno Smith than some folks in the media or something. I think that he still did a very good job last year, despite that crappy offensive line. Yes, he has the 1 or 2 boneheaded mistakes every now and then, but overall, I think he's a very fine quarterback. And I think that the Raiders had a piss poor one game last season, but I think that their offensive line is actually pretty solid. They're returning a lot of guys. I think that Ashton Jeanty is going to raise the floor. I think that Chip Kelly will have some impact, some positive impact on the run scheme in general. Like, it can't be as bad as it was last year. And then Geno is throwing to some really solid people like Brock Bowers. Basically the tight end 1 in the game next season. Dante Thornton, they are really high on. He's going to be the starting X receiver right out of the gate. Jacoby Myers, if he stays, I really like Jacoby Myers. And then they have like a guy like Amari Cooper in a wide receiver 3 role at 31 years old, which is, I think, completely fine. So I really like their offense. I think that their offense might be really, really sneakily good. And yeah, if you have a somewhat decent offense, you might win 7 games in this league.
Yeah, for sure. They do play in a tough division, though, but I think I like this one. I'm not going to push back too hard. I was kind of early in the offseason, I was very against the Raiders, but it seems like I've come around to them as the offseason has sort of progressed. It also helps that they have a competent coaching staff. Like, that helps a lot when you go from basically essentially like one of the worst head coaches in the league, if not the worst head coach in the league, to Pete Carroll, who's I know some people have their opinions on Pete Carroll, but a proven guy who can like motivate and elevate a team, it feels like. So yeah, I like that one a lot. Suma, I know that I have you for a couple more minutes. I know there's like back to school in Germany, and there's like sort of this tradition that you guys do for back to school in Germany. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a show on Thursday, which apparently is the first day back to school for the kids. And I know you have 2 young kids. So can you fill me in on what's going on with this tradition that you guys do over in Germany?
Yeah. So my oldest son is going to have his first day at school starting on Thursday. And when the kids have their first day in school, it's like let's call it a celebration day where like the whole family comes together, lots of friends, and we are basically just throwing a party with all the loved ones all day and basically celebrating that first day of school. So I think it's a tradition going back, like, I don't know, a lot of centuries in Germany. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about the young guy finally making it to school.
It's fun. You're going to be celebrating. And also some of us will be celebrating because we're going to be able to see you a couple beers deep on the Forward Progress YouTube channel for our football or for our NFL preview. So yeah, we have that going live on Thursday and you'll be there. after a wonderful day. So appreciate you joining us here today. Appreciate you joining us on that Thursday. Suma, if you want to find Suma on Twitter, at Suma810. Appreciate you joining us here.
Okay, a good guy. Good day.
See you, Suma. That was Fabian Sommer, best NFL bettor in Germany, probably. And he's usually seen on Forward Progress. Reminder, guys in the chat, if you want to comment on the video and kind of have your voices heard, you got to be subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel before we can bring up any of your comments. And yeah, like the stream as well. We got like another hour, 40 minutes. We're cruising through. Two futures bets down, about 14 more to go. All right, let's bring up our next guest here. We got Davis Sanchez, at Davis Sanchez on Twitter, 3-time Grey Cup champion, former Los Angeles Charger, and a TSN football analyst for us north of the border. Davis, welcome. We're very familiar with you up here north of the border.
You kind of did me a little bit dirty, putting George on before me, bringing the smoke like he did. I don't know. I don't know if I can compete. He's jumping in. No toes dipping, jumping in. All right, and he's, by the way, I'm on that bet too. He talked me into it too. So I'm taking the alt line 6.5 under Pittsburgh as well. So I'm with you, George.
Well, no toes for you then. Head first, it seems like that's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. I know you're here to talk football. I know you're here to talk NFL, but quickly, I have you for a second, so I got to ask you a little bit about the CFL. What are your thoughts on the CFL this year? Any big surprises that you've seen? Anything that you're excited for the rest of the season?
It's probably Sask has been a surprise. I mean, the Chad Kelly saga is kind of the gift that keeps on giving because he's just entertaining. If you're anyone who follows, you can say, I see your smile, you know what's going on. He's hilarious. So, I mean, just to see what he does, he's a personality, and who knows when he's come back, if ever, but he's someone to watch because whether you like him or not, if Chad Kelly comes back, Toronto is a legit contender because when it comes to talent, he's up there right at the top of the league. People don't like him, so they won't give him credit, but he can play. So that's probably the things I'm watching is what happens with him, and then Sask is pretty good as well. They're surprisingly good. And Calgary's been a surprise too with Vernon Adams. Those remember Vernon Adams from Oregon? He's been he might be the MVP of the league right now.
Yeah, it's been a fun season to watch. How do you feel like balancing the CFL and the NFL when kind of both those things starts? Is it like exciting for you? Does it become overwhelming, or is it just, I mean, the more football, the better?
Personally, it's more football, the better. I think you feel the same. For me, I don't have teams. I strictly who I bet is who I cheer for and I love. So I love all the action. I love everything that comes with it. Work balance is a little bit different. I really have to. I have to hone in. You know the deal. If you try to watch everything, you watch nothing. Yeah. And especially if you're an analyst, in the jobs we do, you have to hone in on stuff. So I try to hone in on certain teams, certain weeks, or maybe even sides of the ball, and then to give a somewhat, accurate depiction and in some information to pass along, you have to really dig into certain games. That's what I try to do.
All right, sounds good. Well, let's hone in right now on your futures bet. We're looking at the NFL and another win total to start the show. That's 3 in a row. And a reminder for everyone who's watching Fanduel Futures Day right now for the next 2 hours, win totals are boosted. So if you're going to be betting the win totals, don't wait. Do it right now. So Davis, take it away.
I mean, mine is Washington, the Commanders, and I'll be very clear. The under Commanders bet 9.5. They sit at 115. Yeah, under 9.5, 115 right now. Look, for me, it's not about, and this the big thing is the talk has been, will there be a second-year regression for Jaden Daniels? And no, I don't think there will be a second-year regression from Jaden in particular. But if you look at the weapons around him, in the NFL, it's very clear. You need separators. The reason why wide receivers are paid so much because you need them to win. If you have to shift coverage to double team guys, if guys can beat man coverage, it changes the whole dynamic of what's going on. And right now, if you look, all those fans who love Deebo Samuel and the signing, I get it, but you probably don't. I don't want to say you don't know football. He can't separate. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. He's very limited. I love Deebo for the things he does, but he's very limited. So really, you only have Terry McLaurin. And so much of what Jaden Daniels did last year was off script with, I say, playing above the call so many times. And you can't sustain wins, and you can't you can't. It's not sustainable over a long season to make plays on 3rd down and 4th down the way he did off script and above the call. So I think there's a regression with that team because they don't think they have enough talent at the playmaker position. Luke McCaffrey is vying for their number 2 or 3 job. Noah Brown. These guys are 4th receivers.
Yeah. No, they're definitely lack of talent on the offense. And I agree with you with the Deebo Samuel signing. I feel like he's just he's a splashy name, right? Like he's kind of towards the end of his career. Now we know how quickly wide receivers can kind of fall off the cliff in the NFL. We've seen it with Amari Cooper as a great example, who kind of just went an entire offseason without getting signed. Now, obviously, the Raiders came in and signed him. But yeah, no, I fully agree with you with the second-year regression, not for Jaden Daniels, but for everyone else on the team. It really felt like this defense played above their head last year. And on top of that, their goal was to boat race teams and just score as many points as possible. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he's a great player. It's a lot to ask of him. And if he does it, we're going to be talking about him as one of the top 4, top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL if he's not already there. But he will definitely be proven people that he belongs in that conversation with the likes of Josh Allen, with the likes of Patrick Mahomes, with the likes of Joe Burrow. So yeah, I mean, I love that bet. And a reminder, boosted on FanDuel right now. So
let me add to your point, Jason. You make about boat racing teams. That's one of the conversations I have about Washington. Cliff Kingsbury gets the credit for playing up tempo, no huddle. I think they played faster than the offensive league last year. He gets credit for that. But remember, the reason he did that is because they have to.
Yeah.
They couldn't line up and beat you. They had to play up tempo. He had to play off script. And that's, again, the reason for Jaden's greatness, but it's also the reason this team's going to struggle. So congratulations to Cliff Kingsbury for understanding. I mean, he did it anyway. He's an air raid disciple, so he's going to play that way anyway. But the fact that he's so much 10 personnel, so much on the move, so much up tempo, it's because they can't line up and beat you. And let me tell you this: the Eagles, they can line up in NFC East. They line up and beat you. The Cowboys, question. But I mean, look at the defensive line in with the Giants. I mean, this is a defensive line that is going to get after Washington. So anyway, I find it they might have a great season, but it's going to be Jaden playing off script and crazy, and it's not sustainable.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. I have you for just a couple more minutes, one more minute here. I have a question before you go. You kind of talked about the Eagles, and I could tell just based off your bet, you were going to be high on the Eagles this year, but we've always heard this thing about championship hangovers. Teams it's kind of a narrative where you see teams struggle the year after winning a championship. As a former 3-time champion yourself, are you a believer in the championship hangover? Is it a real thing, or is this just a narrative that sometimes gets blown out of proportion?
I think it's real. I think we all, if you get a massive raise at your job and a new 4-year contract, you're probably not going to be as hungry. I mean, it's just the reality of life. You might not admit it or not, and I hope my bosses aren't listening, but that's just the reality of it. I mean, you're still going to work, but it's just you're hungry when you're a free agent. Anyway, so that I think there is that thing. One thing I would say, Jason, though, is if you're looking at teams and how they win, right? Well, they can win. They win by running the ball, controlling the clock. These things are built in to have success even on a bad day. So you don't need to. It's not like Patrick Mahomes where they need to make a million plays, to have success. They can run the ball, pound you, play good defense, and still eke out a 13-7 win. So the hangover, Super Bowl hangover for them would be a little bit different than others. So I believe in them. I don't think their roster is too deep.
I agree. Yeah, their roster is just way too good to be good. Anyways, as a champion, I had to ask you that question. But Davis, we really appreciate you joining us. If you want to catch Davis Sanchez north of the border on TSN football analyst, 3-time Grey Cup champion, former Los Angeles Chargers. Davis, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll talk later. That was Davis Sanchez. Go follow him on Twitter at Davis Sanchez. As simple as can be. Very, very easy stuff there. And we're moseying our way along through the show. This has been a ton of fun so far. And I see you in the comments. Ben Carey, I see you talking about Chad Kelly, how the lore goes way back to Halloween parties in Denver. I got to hear that story later. All right, up next. You've seen him on the channel. You've seen him on our network. One of the stars of Edgework, a man of many hats, tortured Canucks fan, So Money Sports, my friend from Vancouver. So Money, buddy, how's it going? Long time no see.
My man Jason, how are you? I'm used to seeing you on TV and on the Leafs games. It's nice to see you here, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I've been well. I've been doing great. Off season's been good. That goes way back. How's your off season been though? I know you bet a lot of tennis stuff now that the NHL and the major sports are done. Has tennis been going well for you this summer?
Yeah, the summer has been fantastic. But I am ready for the NHL season. Lots of tennis, CFL. Speaking of CFL, it's great to have the great David Sanchez opening for me. So that's appreciated there.
Yeah, we're getting a ton of so monies in the chat right now. Like one of the best creators on our network. The people love So Money Sports. But yeah, so tennis stuff though. Tennis stuff's been good. I know you've been betting the US Open a little bit.
Yeah, we've been at the US Open. It's been good. We hit a future. We had a Coco Golf. It was a nice future there. It's been a good off season for the NHL and a good season for me so far with a tennis and CFL. So can't complain. It's been a good summer here.
All right, you said good off season for the NHL. I got to ask you, how do you feel about your Canucks this year? Are you happy? Are you sad? Like, do you feel like they've done enough this off season to get you guys over that hump?
I feel much better than I did last year. I think that we're finally starting to see some direction with the team. Frankly, I was starting to think that we were clueless again. But some of the moves that have been made, I'm happy about them. I think that there's a couple more things that are going to occur, and I'll talk more about this as we get the season going. But I'm going to be coming in pretty high on the Canucks this year.
All right, there you go. I love to hear that, and we'll talk about that probably a little bit more as we get closer to the NHL season. But today we're not talking NHL. We're not talking NFL. We're talking MLB, and I was a little bit happy that you sent this one in. A little bit sad at the same time because, like, where's the support for our Jays? But anyways, maybe I'm burying the lead here with that. But So Money, you have an MLB bet. Give it away. Let's hear what the future is.
Yeah, so I was thinking, right? So when I come on the show, what future would I give out? And I thought maybe it'll be an NHL, maybe CFL, maybe, but that's what would be expected, right? And I didn't want to do what would be expected. So I dug deep into the vault of So Other Sports, dug very, very deep, right? Went in deep. We are all Cubs this fall.
We are all Cubs.
We are all Cubs. Now, a couple of things about this. Coming into this season, the Cubs were they were top 3, top 4 in World Series odds. And they've quietly put together a great season, and they're right there. What stands out for me for this team is they do most things well that go under the radar. Offensively, they're fine. Defensively, they're fine. I do worry about their pitching a little bit, but you have to look at the pricing. Obviously, the Dodgers are the best team in the league. Obviously, the Dodgers should be priced at where they're priced. But you go down the tiers, and I think that where the Cubs are priced right now, they're too low on that tier. They should be right up there, in my opinion, with the Phillies and Detroit. Instead, we have them 1, maybe 2 tiers lower. So at the 14-1 price, I didn't want to come on and give out the -10 or -110 or anything. We're going to go big because the Cubs are going to have the Somo Mojo this fall, and we're all in on the Cubs, baby.
We're all on the Cubs. We're all Cubs. RW fan in the chat saying parlay with Canucks outrights as well. So maybe if you want to get a little crazy with things, maybe you can do that. But who knows? Maybe not. Cubs 14-1. And finally, listen, I don't want to rip on the other guests. I appreciate them coming on. We got guys giving out like a +155, -120, -115. Let's get some good futures going. Let's take some darts, throw some long shots here. I love that 14-1 for the Cubs to win the World Series. The only part I don't like about that is it goes against our Jays. We're looking super hot this year, but I'm sure you already have futures from months ago on the Jays, which is probably why you're not willing to give that stuff out now because the numbers move so much.
It's funny because in our Edgeworth chat, I posted because I went to the Jays home opener this year.
Yeah.
And I was in Toronto at that time, and I posted in that chat that the Jays have been blessed by so money in attendance, and they will win the American League. It's right there in the chat. So I did bet the Jays to win the American League. Have a little bit on them for the World Series, but obviously the price is gone. So we got to go with the Cubs. So we get a Blue Jays Cubs World Series, and I just may retire.
Sounds good. I'm wondering if you could do me a huge favor and maybe go to the Leafs home opener and bless us with some Mojo as well. Before I let you go, though, I have to ask, what are you most excited for when the NHL season starts?
It's funny because when we're in the grind, when it's March, April, I'm like, oh, this is dragging on. Like, there's teams that are out of it, and they're not. It's hard to price them sometimes. But at this point, I'm missing that grind. I'm missing going through the coaches' comments, going through the goalie tendencies, who's going to be starting. So I'm trying to find patterns in what the coaches are thinking in terms of their goalie assignments there. So yeah, I'm right now. I'm looking forward to the grind. I miss the grind. I miss the NHL markets moving. I just miss all of it right now. So ask me again in a few months, but for now, I just miss all of it right now.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. So Money, it's been a huge pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been So Money Sports at So Money Sports. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, So Money. Go follow him on Twitter at So Money Sports. Reminder: keep smashing that like button for the stream. Bring up those numbers. Goes a long way for us here on the channel. And also a reminder: subscribe if you want to get in on the conversation. Saw a bunch of So Monies in the chat. I bet you there'd be a little bit more if you guys subscribed, and you could comment on the video. But anyways, up next we have a pro bettor, a one-time contest winner, a fake sharp, a chronic social media apologist, and a member of Circle Back, Chris Dierkes. Welcome to the floor here. Glad to see you back. Haven't talked since Bet Bash. How you been?
Good. How are you?
I've been good. I see you've tell me a little bit about this chronic social media apologist bit. Like, this is a very interesting bit. I was kind of out of the loop during Bet Bash. I was really busy, so I kind of missed a lot.
I don't think it's a chronic apologist. I just, sometimes I act a little too emotionally, and I need to just take back what I said. At least I own my mistakes, unlike some other people. That wasn't a cut at you or anything like that.
No, I know. It kind of felt like it was, but it's okay.
No. But yeah, and then the only other exciting thing is I came back with a Bet Bash. I got a new puppy, so I'm very excited about that one as well.
Yeah, I saw him. What's his name?
His name is Teddy. Teddy, come here. I tried picking him up, but he didn't like it. He's not a lap dog. He likes
not a lap dog. Not a lap dog. Likes to free spirit. Likes to do his own thing.
Yes.
Maybe trash sponsors, things like that. But
exactly.
Like father, like son. No trashing today, though. No trashing today. Before we get started, before we get into your NFL bet, we have this fun little side contest that we did on the Hammer Betting Network here, where we're doing a pick'em contest. We have two teams. It's funny because you were drafted first for the pick'em the group pick'em
as
contest,
I should,
and I was drafted last. Do you know who you're gonna pick for week one yet? Or
no? I mean, that's gonna depend on the lines. I mean,
okay,
I'll make that decision Saturday.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, the new rule is that you get your pick, but each one of us on the team has a veto every single.
Or they can veto another person's pick.
But you only get one veto a season. How mad would you be if I just vetoed your week one pick just for the content?
I mean, that would be idiotic, but I mean, I wouldn't be that mad. I would just be like shocked that you wasted a veto that early on. I think you should only use a veto if it's like you fundamentally disagree and they're picking a play with like negative CLV or something like that. Then I can understand it. But using a week one would be obscene. All
right. Well, I've done plenty of idiotic things in the past, and if it makes good content, then it makes good content. So here we are. I know you wouldn't put it past me to do that. Anyways, let's get into your pick right now. You got a win total bet, another win total bet. Like, I shout out to the crew for giving out all these win totals when they're boosted right now. Because if you're going to want to bet them at any time, you're going to want to be betting them right now on FanDuel. So yeah, tell us about your win total for this show.
Yeah, so this is basically just a bet on quarterback uncertainty. Michael Penix last year, he didn't look super bad, didn't look super great, but clearly Kirk Cousins is completely washed at his old age, and it's Penix's team now, and I'm betting on the upside. We've seen what happens when you have a good quarterback that they just take over and they dominate. Last year with Jaden Daniels, absolutely crushed. C.J. Stroud 2 years ago. I'm not saying Penix needs to be that good to have success. The Falcons team around it is decent enough. Nothing in free agency they did was like super like transformative or bad in either way. And I think the coach is under the gun. It's his second year. They have decent expectations. They're looking to to make another push forward. And most importantly, they're in a very soft division, and they play the AFC East, which is another soft division. So they should have a relatively easy schedule. So that leads me to Falcons over 9.5 wins. Honestly, I kind of would like a ladder here. Like, I much prefer 10.5, even 11.5 than I do 8.5 or 7.5, because if you're right, I feel like we're going to be right in a big way. It seems like I wouldn't even be surprised here if something like I don't like it. My sim does not like it, but I would not be surprised if like there is value on under 5.5 and over 10.5 wins at their respective prices, because this team just has a ton of variance, and that's what I'm betting on. I was talking to Judah. I'm sure if he was available and not getting married, he would have picked this one as well, because I know he's a big fan of the Falcons. So, and I respect his takes a lot. But that's pretty much the play.
All right, love it. Over 9.5 wins, notably as well. This has moved against you since you submitted it, so that's usually a good sign. There.
You mean moved in favor of me or
against? Well, it was plus 190 when you submitted it, so now it's plus 210. So you're getting a better price on it.
Isn't it because it's boosted?
Nope, that is just the normal price right now on FanDuel. You don't. Unfortunately, you don't get to see the boost unless you're logged in, and we're not going to log in on Jacob's FanDuel because we don't want to do that to him. And
got it. Also, I see a comment here. Mike Vivian also points out they also have Kyle Pitts, who's probably the greatest tight end in NFL history.
Yeah,
that's also a very big boon.
Well, that's a big signal, because Mike Vivian, one of the best Twitter personalities out there. I'm serious when we're going to bring him on the Hammer Betting Network, one of the best of the best. We love his comments here. Also, Cottage 11. Cottage changed his name, I'm pretty sure. But what is this? A comment from him. Normally just was worried we shouldn't get another season of Falcons overrated by the markets after consuming 100 hours of NFL content the last 24 hours. I'm glad we'll have a chance to fade them again this year. Thank you, Michael Penix Jr., for having that one good game. And normally this seems against you.
Wow, he seems against me. You know what? He could very well be right. I'm happy to disagree with it. I don't think if this is like one of these bad plays. I'm not taking a huge fundamental stand that I think the median is much better. This is a tail outcome. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Just if this does lose, just don't go on Twitter and ask FanDuel to void your bet, please.
That's I won't do that. But I would. Our next guest, I would like to ask how his day is going. I'm excited for the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift engagement. I want to see the wedding. I don't know about our next guest how excited he will be, but I would love to hear what his thoughts are.
Oh, I'm going to ask him. Don't you worry. Worry, Chris. I will ask him. Anyways, that's been Chris Dierkes at FlupNoLied on Twitter. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Also appreciate you being such a good sport and letting me take like 30 million jabs at you for the last 2 weeks. So it's
all good.
All right. We'll talk soon, Chris. See ya. All right. Go follow Chris on Twitter at FlupNoLied on Twitter. FlupNoLied on Twitter. Up next is someone who is, I don't think there's anyone who could be more down in the dumps than this guy right now, based on someone getting like, I don't think anyone could ever be this sad based on someone else's engagement announcement, unless it's maybe your ex-girlfriend or something along those lines. But we're going to bring him up in a sec here. He's a college football bettor. You've seen him a couple times on Circle Back as a guest, and he claims to be one of the funniest Twitter follows in the sports betting community, but I don't know if I agree with that. Or at least that's what the notes say. Maybe that's what Jacob says. Maybe that's what Jacob, maybe give me a nod if that was you who put that in there.
Moretto wrote the note, so if anybody's on their knees for him, it's Moretto.
All right. Well, honestly, I
certainly isn't me.
Fair enough. I agree with it. I think Mr. Peanut Butter is one of the funniest for Twitter follows. We'll bring him up right now. Mike, Mr. Peanut Butter, how are you?
I would have to push back. I wouldn't say that anything I do is particularly funny on Twitter. It's meant to be educational content for everybody who follows. So please take everything that I say seriously on the account because I'm just trying to teach the next generation.
All right. So if you're at a craps table, for example, in Vegas at like 4 a.m. and you just keep pushing your chips on midnight, that is considered a good move, right?
It worked out for me. All you can go by is the results. Side is the side.
There we go. For those who don't know, me and Mike were up till like, I don't even know, 4 a.m. playing craps. I don't think I've seen a hotter run on hitting the double sixes in my entire life, but it was an electric time. Had to bring up the good memories because I know you're going through it right now. I know you're a little bit sad. I think you're a lot sad. Has there ever been an engagement that you felt worse about? So for those who don't know, Mike is also what do we call it? I call you a pop culture bettor on these.
Yeah, I don't know.
You love, like, that's what I thought your bread and butter was. When you were brought up on this show, I was like, what the heck's this guy doing here? There's no pop culture references to talk about. Then as it were, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce get engaged today, and you had a pretty large position on the no for them getting engaged this year. So how are you feeling?
Well, actually last night I bought it and I noticed that it was dropping and it looked like someone might have had an idea. I actually pulled it up, thought about it for a little bit, and then kind of did some Google searches, looked into it, and saw that, Travis Kelce's mom made a comment recently, thought maybe that's what sparked it, and faded that money. So I bought a little bit more even actually last night. So it's a little rough, but don't worry, I'm back on the horse. Currently betting no that they won't get married this year as well. So I'm going right back at it. You got a martingale double down.
I don't know if that's really good advice, but I like that angle. I mean, we're supposed to be talking about football, but I don't know how quickly you can turn around a wedding when you have to play football this year. Football season doesn't end until the next year. So I feel like the no is a pretty good bet there. Speaking of some pretty good bets, I have to give you credit, because I see your bet on the sheet, and I love this one. I'm high on this player. I'm high on this guy. It's a player prop. It's an over. So without burying the lead and telling everyone what your pick is, why don't you tell us who you're betting on and why you're betting it?
Yeah, so I took Travis. First I got asked, and Moretto asked if I could do NFL futures. He said, preferably. I said, well, I don't know that much about NFL, but luckily Flupp was going before me, so that wasn't a concern. I realized that we were bringing anyone on. So I decided to lean more on college ball, and I picked Travis Hunter's over receiving yards. He is, can you pull it up here? He's at 725, I believe, or 750. And he's at 725 at a couple other places with juice to the over. One of those places, bookmaker. I would say that you want to actually take it at Fanduel or another place like that, just because it looks good on your account. And I think that that's something, it's not a particularly like exploitative bet. Mm-hmm. And it's actually something that looks good on your account. And Travis Hunter, if you look at 750 yards, that's about 6th or 7th, depending on the year for rookie wide receivers. He's a top rookie receiver drafted. I know he's going to play both ways, they say. But in practice so far, he's been playing about 80% of the snaps on offense, which is, about equal to a rookie wide receiver's workload anyway. So I think that he's going to get the snaps on offense, and they're going to use him sparingly on defense. And if you think he's going to play majority offensive snaps, then this is a pretty easy over. Obviously, there's questions regarding that.
Availability.
Yeah, his availability, just in how much he's going to be playing defense versus offense. Yeah. From everything I see, I think it sounds like he's going to be on offense.
Sounds good. All right, I love this bet. I've been high on Travis Hunter all offseason, especially offensively, fantasy draft, things like that. I really think that I don't want to say it's flying under the radar how good of a receiver talent he is, but he's like, if he didn't play cornerback, I think he'd be more widely regarded as a receiver. And Liam Conan's come out and he said himself that he expects Travis Hunter to play around 80% of the snaps. And if this is a guy who you trade all this capital to trade up and get, if he's playing snaps on offense, they're not just going to have him running wind sprints, especially if he's playing both sides of the ball. He's going to get targets. He's going to get looks. Like, it just makes sense for me from a betting perspective. I know we don't really like to bet players' futures towards the over. Obviously, injury risk is a key factor, but I personally love this one. I had a conversation with someone I really trust, think he's a fantastic football mind, and he has a 40% chance that Travis Hunter in year one is a better player than Brian Thomas Jr., who is among, top 20, top 15 wide receiver. It's a bold take, pretty bold, but I think there's a real shot that Travis Hunter out the gate is going to be incredible, especially if Trevor Lawrence can figure it out. This is, relatively high on this one. Love this one from you. I'm shocked. I didn't know you had football knowledge.
Yeah. It shocked everyone. Yeah, I think he would have been the best receiver if he played just that side of the ball by himself. And I think that, obviously Jacksonville doesn't have, they're not just loaded with playmakers on the outside where it's going to be an issue that they can't get him the ball.
Yes.
It's opportunities there. I think he's a really talented player. And I think people are getting too caught up on the defensive snaps, which I don't think they're going to limit him on offense.
Yeah, fair enough. I love that. All right. Travis Hunter over 750.5 receiving yards, -114. Are you going to be on Circle Back this week?
I am not. So I got to hide after the Taylor Swift engagement for a while. I got to keep low to stay out of the spotlight.
Okay. I want to get your take before you head out here and make this a little bit about myself. I feel like everyone's on the wrong side of history here, including the next guest, Kirk Evans, talking about my interaction with Fezzik, just about how he's, saying that I was in the wrong going up to Fezzik. What was your opinion on my interaction? Do you feel like I was in the wrong there? Was Fezzik in the wrong there? Who's in the wrong?
I think Fezzik, big dogged you. He called you giggles. He called you a puppet. I think that, Fezzik rarely gets the win. Fezzik getting a win in here, even a tie for Fezzik is a win. So Fezzik surviving a win with here is, upset of the century.
All right. Well, you know what? That's not after saying Fezzik gets the win. That gets you the boot. Let's kick him off screen, Jacob. Get this guy out of here. That was Mike at Mr. Peanut Better on Twitter at Mr. Peanut Better on Twitter. Great Twitter follow. Hilarious. Don't take his account is not serious. Don't take it for any educational advice, but sometimes he makes some good points and sometimes he makes you laugh. So one of the better Twitter follows out there within the gambling Twitter sphere. I might change my name to Giggles. That is a crazy one. All right. Announcement from the Hammer. Isaac is on Circle Back this week. That's going to be a good one. Going to want to tune in Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to do that on the Circles Off YouTube channel, you can go listen to Jacob. You can go listen to Isaac. You can go listen to Kesh. You can go listen to Flup. Up next, Kirk Evans. He's a seasoned NBA bettor, author of the Hammer Daily newsletter, aka Kirk's Hammer, and as seen on Circle Back and the Circles Off YouTube channel. Kirk, come up here for a second. I got a big question. Okay, hold on. We got to fix your camera a little bit here. What's going on with the production? You look like I understand why everyone thinks you're like 2 feet tall. Like you look like you're a child. What's going on here?
Camera. It's
the way you sit.
I keep my chair really low.
Okay, all right. That's not a weird thing to do.
But I'll bring it up just for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Can't have you looking like a little.
I know people do think I'm very short. I think I kind of like playing into it. I should have stayed down there.
All right, that's good. Before we talk about your bets and what you have for the futures, I don't know if you were able to hear what me and Mr. Peanut Better talks about. He bet Travis Hunter over 750.5 receiving yards.
I was about to say, is there any death knell more for a bet than when he comes up here and you say, "Oh, I agree with this one"? I think Peanut maybe should go back to the drawing board on that one.
Oh, maybe you're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on yours because I like your bet too. But I know why. You know why I mentioned Travis Hunter here because I have people don't know this. I don't think this was posted on Twitter. We have a little bit of a behind the scenes friendly thing going on. I'm curious to hear the chat's opinion on this. I think Travis Hunter is going to win offensive and defensive rookie of the year. Kirk doesn't think that's going to happen. So we decided to go if he does win offensive or if he does win offensive and defensive rookie of the year, Kirk, you're going to get some Starbucks coffee.
No, but if and a spinach better
and a spinach better wrap, around $20-ish Canadian. And then
no, come on, not
less,
20
15
Canadian, $11. I have $11 most days.
All right, fair enough, $11 there. But if he does win both, Kirk is going to take me to Harbor 60, which is one of the nicest restaurants in Toronto. So I'm curious to hear the thoughts of the chat. Who got the better end of the deal? I'm going to be excited when we talk. We're going to be talking over dinner about how good Travis Hunter is. Harbor 60. It's going to be a good little date night. Jeff's taking me out on a date night. George's taking me out on a date night. Kirk, you're next.
You also realize that what Peanut Better said made your bet worse, not better. Like I actually probably like that bet of the over, but a lot of the reason was because he's not going to play any defense.
We can worry about the defense stuff later. I just need him to win offensive rookie of the year. Then the defense stuff will come with the narrative. That's all I really care about. Before we get into your bet, I know you're a big basketball guy. How's the WNBA been going this year? Are you excited for the NBA to start? Like, does that make your life more hectic when there's like overlap between the WNBA and NBA, or between the two sports? If you could only choose one to bet on and watch, which would you choose?
I'm excited for the NBA to be back. Like, I love the NBA, but it definitely creates a lot more of a busy time. There's not much overlap. I don't think there's any. I would need to check maybe the finals. Betting, definitely the NBA is way better to bet. I think it's actually a pretty big misconception. I think the WNBA kind of sucks to bet, if I'm being honest. To watch, also probably the NBA, but that's a lot closer.
All right, I had to ask that just to get that out of the way. But now we can get into your bet, and it's something I like a lot. If Kirk gives NBA, I'm telling you, Kirk. Honestly, that's great thought process.
My logic for my bet will reinforce that comment as well.
Who's Artificial 360, and why are they a mod on the channel? Maybe we got to get that figured out. Anyways. All right. Okay. Sorry. Caught off guard by that. You're looking towards the rookie of the year market, awards market for this one. You're going to bet Travis Hunter to win rookie of the year and then fade him defensive rookie of the year. Kind of weird, but tell us about your bet right now.
So I'm taking Travion Henderson plus 1,400 to win offensive rookie of the year. As that commentator just said, I'll admit, I'm far from a ball knower when it comes to football. Like, I'll bet props. I will not bet sides and totals. But I definitely don't know the league that well at all. But I do really like this bet. Travion Henderson is steamed up. So the way I really honestly do a lot of research for football for props is I just listen to pretty much everything Establish the Run. I maybe shouldn't plug them on this channel. Puts out for football. They do really good best ball stuff. And Travion Henderson is steamed up from like average pick 75 in best ball to now going like in the mid 30s. So I just don't think the market has reacted enough to that move. He's has a chance to be a feature back. He went early second round as a running back, so he has a lot of stature there. And if he's just the starting running back for the Patriots and getting first and second down reps, which isn't a certainty by any means, he'll have a really good shot for this award. So plus 1,400 just too long for me.
Yeah, I like this one a lot because the transition to the NFL for the running back, it's very tough because the toughest thing you need to do is be able to block. And Travion Henderson was one of the best blockers in college. Obviously, different story here, going from college to the NFL. But like having that floor and being able to block means you just have a chance to stay on the field longer, get more reps in, get more rushes, more touches, and that's kind of the most important thing. So yeah, that's a good one there, Kirk. Sorry about that. Hopefully, it doesn't lose because of me. But
yeah,
I like that.
This bet's dead. He's a really good pass catcher and doesn't really have much in front of him like Stevenson's very whatever, Gibson's very whatever. Like if he establishes himself as running back one, there's no one really in this rookie class that I look at him like, this guy's unbeatable. It's a lot worse of a rookie class than last year, in my opinion, offensively. So I guess, I just think he clearly has a path. 15-1 seems pretty good to me.
Yeah, I agree. 15-1 is pretty good. Plus, obviously, a ton more invested in their offensive line this year for the New England Patriots. Kirk, before I let you go, you write the Hammer Daily newsletter for the Hammer, aka Kirk's Hammer. Do we get a preview? Releases every week on Friday. Do you have a preview for this week? Anything you can mention?
No preview. I still haven't decided what I'm writing about yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, I have a question for you because Jacob, if you can pull up the screen right here with Kirk's Hammer. I guess his landing page. If we can pull it up right here. How old were you when that picture was taken? Is that from high school?
No, I was in like third year university. I was probably like 21.
Okay, because you look like a baby, and I just had to ask.
I do. I very baby face for sure.
No headshots since then, eh?
I'm aging fast.
All right. Well, I just had to ask about that one. If you want to read any of Kirk's stuff, head over to the hammer.bet and you can find Kirk's Hammer over there. Also, if you want to find Kirk and his opinion, you want to hear him yap for about an hour and a half, you can always do so on the Circle Back on the Circles Off YouTube channel. Head over there and listen to him. How did you feel the episode went yesterday? Good?
I thought it was a great episode, especially when, was it last episode we were talking about you?
Yeah, and this past one. Yeah. No journalist.
Anytime we're talking about you, it's typically funny.
Yeah, there you go. But I just feel bad for you for being on the wrong side of history with the Fezzik interaction. Anyways, Kirk, I know you got to get out of here, so I'll let you go. Kirk, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, at Kirk Evans 0 on Twitter. Go follow him if you like the NBA, WNBA. If you also like some, what do we call it? Some funny tweets, some snarky tweets towards some people. It's generally a good time. So go follow Kirk on Twitter. That's it. We're about an hour through the show, halfway through. It's been a lot of fun so far. Curious to hear everyone's favorite bet given out. It doesn't have to be one that you think will win, but just one that you think that you like the most. If you guys want to drop that in the comments down below, who you think gave out the best bet so far for our futures betting extravaganza. And a reminder, in an hour, Fanduel will switch over to a different market to boost. So if you're looking to bet those team wins, you're going to want to do it now, because you won't get that boost until, I believe it's boosted till 6 o'clock. So yeah, if you're going to bet them now. Don't wait. Head over to FanDuel and do that. Up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Pro Bettor, NFL prop specialist, the owner of the worst season-long best bets record in forward progress history. You know him. You love him. It's Hitman. Hitman, get up here. How's it going?
I didn't like that last comment. I mean, you tell me that Suma and Judah weren't worse than me last year compared to my previous year?
I honestly,
he went like 2-15, I think.
I really don't know. I think Judah won some, like, maybe not worst record, but maybe worst ROI, because Judah won a couple plus money. Look at with his alt lines that Fezzik hated him giving out. He won a couple of those. So I think maybe it's based on ROI. Also, could just be a complete lie. Moretto put these together for me. I don't really know if it's true.
I don't trust him either. So,
he's looking to sabotage you. But yeah, welcome to the show. Hey, man, you ready to get back into the swing of content or what? Like, the NFL season's almost here.
Yeah, I'm excited. It was a long preseason. A lot of work, listening to coaches' press conferences for 20 minutes, just hoping they'll say like one sentence about if the starters are playing or not. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Okay, I gotta ask: is the NFL season bittersweet for you? I know you love the NFL. I know you love watching the NFL. It's your moneymaker. You're a great prop bettor, one of the best I know. But is it bittersweet because the introduction of the NFL season is almost like the end of the golf season? And I know that you're a big golfer. I know you've been golfing a ton this summer. So is it kind of like this push-pull of like, I love the NFL, but it's taken away from my golfing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still getting out there. I recently joined the country club also to get the rounds in quicker. So during the season, I'm getting out there once, maybe twice a week, and during the off season it's like 3-4 days a week. So I'm kind of living like I'm retired during the off season. But it's also like during the season I don't travel. I'm pretty much the only time I'm leaving the state is to go to another state to bet at some of their sports books. So it's a grind. In the beginning it's not difficult, but by like the time we get to like December and January, it's like, all right, like I need to get to a warm weather city, and I need football to be over and just let my mind rest for 5 months. But yeah, I'm prepared for it now.
All right, you're prepared for the NFL season. No more golfing. Well, a lot less golfing, I guess. But that takes us to your pick here. It's another player prop over. I'll just let you lead the way. Who you like and why?
So I am typically not a fan of season-long player prop overs. And I'm typically not a fan of playing arguably the squarest play on the entire board to go over. But the square's got to win sometimes, and I think that this is a pretty good bet. We're going Mike Evans over 1,500 receiving yards. Evans is a guy who, as everybody in the chat is probably very well aware, has 11 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to start his career. This is a big year as far as that record goes, because he needs to accomplish it this season for a 12th straight year to set the record for most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Jerry Rice is tied with him at the moment. Anytime I'm betting an over, I really have to think that the number is so off that a player can go over even if he misses games. And we got to see as recently as last season, Mike Evans miss 4.5 games and still go over. Evans is attached to a good quarterback still. Tampa's wideout situation coming into the year, it looked like it was going to be one of the deepest in the NFL coming into training camp, which fueled some speculation that Evans might play a little bit less than years past. But it's looking like Chris Godwin is having a slower than we thought recovery from his ankle surgery. Probably going to miss 4 to 6 games is my best estimate. Jalen McMillan is going to be out for over half the season in all likelihood. And pretty quickly, Tampa went from a deep receiving core to what's looking like a really condensed target share between Mike Evans and the rookie Emeka Egbuka. And most importantly, we've seen that a willingness of Tampa to do literally anything necessary Mike Evans to this 1,000-yard mark. Look no further than last year when Tampa could have kneeled the clock out to clinch a playoff spot, and instead they went out of their way to take the risk to throw the ball just to get Mike Evans his 1,000 yards. There's 2 ways that this is going to go. Evans is either going to go over or he's going to go under by a lot, because like the number, like Jason, the number like 900, Evans finishing at like 970, 9.4, like that's dead. Yeah. He's either going to finish way under or go over this number, because if he's close, they're going to force feed him to get it. So as I said, squares play on the board, but Mike Evans to get 1,000 yards.
Listen, what I wouldn't put it past you betting the squares play on the board as someone who has the worst season-long best records on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. But nevertheless, I love it. I just wonder if that 0.5 yards is going to give you like potential nightmares thinking about that.
I'll just say we always encourage shopping around. Shop around on it. You could get better probably than 1,000.5, but I'll have to eat it if it lands at exactly 1,000.
I might get in trouble here, but if you're going to bet that, maybe you're going to want to bet it on FanDuel a little bit later in the day. That's all I can say, but maybe some people can pick up on what I'm putting down here, considering what FanDuel's been offering all day. And I think, Hitman, you might have gotten me in a little bit of trouble there. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, last thing before you head out here. Actually, you know what? Sorry, we're over time. I yap too much with you, as always happens. I got to let you go, Hitman.
I'll see you on the watch-alongs, Jason.
Thanks for having the quarter. I appreciate it, Hitman. We'll talk to you later. See ya. All right, that has been Hitman. You can follow him on Twitter at Hitman428. The best. Love that guy. Always have a great time. Fourth quarter watch-along. The usual guest. Going to look forward to this season every Thursday and Monday, seeing him. Hopefully he's there every Thursday and Monday. Got to talk to him about that. Anyways, let's move on to our next guest here. Barry Horse is coming in for us. He's a pro bettor, originator, baseball and college football guru, and the unofficial spokesperson for Bitcoin on gambling Twitter. Jacob, bring him up here. Barry Horse, how's it going, man?
Good. I'm does this audio work, by the way?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm honestly, the sleep schedule with baseball football overlap is still adjusting, but I'm surviving. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. You're enjoying college football? I know week 0 just passed. Any big takeaways from that? Anything you're looking forward to? Or
yeah, I mean the bets is on one of the teams who played last week in college.
Yeah, all right.
Well, but yeah, no like real like sport league wide observations, and honestly, none of my opinions on the teams have changed a ton.
What's your opinion on week 0 in general? Just out of curiosity, do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it like a good teaser to the start of the college football season and football season in general?
Like week 1 versus week 0 in college specifically, or just the start of seasons in general?
Just, I guess, the start of seasons, week 0. Just opinion on it.
Just my perspective and experience until like around the COVID year, September was like always my best months from when I first started winning all the way up until the COVID year. And I kind of viewed it as like, if you just did your summer homework and like we're on top of obvious coordinator 180s and offensive philosophies and stuff, you just start off September like up 3 or 5 units just on like not candy from a baby, but close to it. And, I just don't think the market really gives any of that anymore. And so for like 5 or 6 years in a row, my best month has been by far October of the football. So I'm not like confidently spraying stuff in September.
All right. So a little bit more closer to the chest. It's kind of how you approach it, seems like. I mean, listen, you mentioned it off the top here. The week 0 has a little bit to do with, or a team playing in week 0 has something to do with your futures bet. So we're looking towards a football bet, but not an NFL one. We're looking at a college football futures bet. So why don't you just take the floor and tell us a little bit about it here?
All right. The math nerds are going to hate this, and I already see the crypto comments. So obviously, not to get you in trouble with your sponsor again, but consider for personal finance reasons to be capital efficient if you have to post about this. But Stanford under 2.5 wins. I think it was minus $1.34 when I checked on FanDuel.
Yeah.
32. So it's a complete waste of time for me to like name names or say Stanford is bad. You won't find one rational human being in the world or marketplace who doesn't think Stanford's utterly horrific. You have to justify what's a pretty huge price, by most standards. And I kind of think this is worth it. So my framing, not to go like super into power ratings and stuff, but the worst, it's not like some rule of the universe this has to happen, but typically the worst Power 4 now, it used to be Power 5 team in the country, hangs somewhere in the region of like a -15. There's outliers, like the last Colorado year before Dion, that Colorado team was probably like a -20. Kansas at the end with Les Miles was probably close to that. Purdue last year was in like the low negative teens, like with the directional Michigans. And usually you need a month of just like injuries and quitting and just evidence of being horrendous to price a team down that low in the Power 4. But I'm pretty ready to do that with Stanford right now, like honestly, with pretty decent conviction. And so if they are like, I mean, Hawaii is a really bad, like really middling, like generously middling Mountain West team whose quarterback is probably worth 10 points, who, if anybody didn't see it, had a severe ankle twist on the first drive of the second half. And I to me, who knows, we'll never know, but the game kind of looked like Hawaii was running away with it if he didn't get hurt. And that's like really not a great sign, and kind of leaves me thinking Stanford's already today without injuries in like the range of a -15, which would mean if you pull up all their games, like the San Jose at home, Cal at home, all their games already start with 0 home field, like 7 people go to their games, but those Cal and San Jose games are very, like, I'm not joking, very arguably negative home field. And, they're probably going to be, I mean, San Jose right now, like Stanford's price is not crazy different from Central Michigan to me. And we see the price for San Jose right now is like 12. I don't think San Jose is going to be laying 10, to be clear, in 3 or 4 weeks when they play, but I kind of think 7 or more is right. And if you start pricing them in that range, then 2 flat's a better number, which means under 2.5 should be something on the range of like $1.74. I mean, the only, like, obviously it's football, the ball's an oval, anything could happen, and quarterbacks could get hurt, but like the real like winnable games would be like BC at home, which they're still going to be a 2-score underdog, San Jose at home, and Cal at home, and they travel back and forth across the country like 5 times. They're just pathetic to begin with.
All right, fair enough there. Stanford under 2.5 wins at -132 right now on FanDuel. Week 1 this weekend coming up for college football. Any team, I know this, don't want to say that this was like reactionary bet to what you saw from week 2.
No, it's not like, to pass post, but this was before a game was played. I bet under 3.5 minus $1.70 for a lot. And obviously, this if you didn't learn anything from the game, this actually would be an overreaction from having just lost like a game. But I don't think it's enough still.
Yeah. So speaking of learning from games, is there any team that you're looking forward to in week 1 to watch and kind of see if you can learn or pull away anything from? I don't know if you can give that away.
Can I cuss? I watch all the like complete garbage, like
dog shit.
Can I share? Yeah, like the complete shit tier, horrific teams. Like the bottom 10 teams in the country is like what I make more than half my money on probably in football season. So I'll be watching like Kennesaw on Friday. Kent State plays the Merrimack, I think, but they'll play an FBS team next week.
All right, makes sense. All right, before you head out, I know you do some second half stuff. If you want to promote that here.
Yeah. If you just go to my Twitter, I'm going to do on Fridays. I'll do like a call or a stream, whatever, kind of like what we're on right now, where I'll talk about the college and professional football games. And if you follow there, you'll hear everything relevant. Perfect.
All right, at BarryHorse_29 on Twitter. Barry Horse, appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, see ya. Thank you. Bye. All right, Barry Horse at BarryHorse_29 on Twitter. Go give him a follow. The unofficial spokesperson of Bitcoin for gambling Twitter. But yeah, let's Jacob, you want to bring up that bottom scroll one more time just so we can run through all the bets and do everyone a favor and just talk about everything that's given out so far. We have Steelers under 7.5 wins at plus 155 from G-Stack. We have the Raiders over 6.5 wins, minus 120 from Suma. Commanders under 9.5 wins, minus 115 from Davis Sanchez. Cubs to win the World Series, 14-1 from So Money Sports. Falcons over 9.5 wins, plus 190 from Flop. Travis Hunter over 750.5 receiving yards at minus 114 from Mr. Peanut Better himself. Kirk Evans with Travion Henderson to win Rookie of the Year, 14-1. Hitman with the squarest best bet of all time. Mike Evans over 1,000.5 receiving yards, minus 114. And then we just had Barry Horse give out Stanford under 2.5 wins at minus 134. Jacob, do you have a favorite one of that mix?
I don't. Yeah, I do quite like the Mike Evans bet. I don't think it's as square as Hitman's laying it out to be, and maybe if I like it, it means it's ultra square. But they're gonna force him. If he's right, if he's anywhere in the region the last 2 weeks, they're gonna force feed to get him to this milestone. There is a ton of incentive for the team to get him to this number, and it's specifically on 1,000. Now you can't have nightmares about that half one because I think he's finished last season with 1,004, and I think he's finished with even less before as well. I think it was like 1,001 or 2 1 year. So I like it, and I see what Hitman's bringing up there.
Listen, you and I are on the same page. I also like it as well. And for those who don't know, I prepped Jacob for a futures pick. So if you want to get that, you're gonna have to tune in for the entire show. I think I'm gonna save it towards the end. I don't want to give it out right now.
2 if needed.
All right, 2 if needed. Well, you can give out both if you want. You can give out both, but appreciate you coming up and helping me out with that. But don't want to make Austin wait any longer. Up next, he's an NFL and college football bettor. You've seen him on The Athletic. You've seen him on Forward Progress. Austin Mock, why don't you get on up here? How's it going?
It's going good. The stream's been it's been a fun watch as now the show starts when I'm on board here.
Yeah, there we go. Ready to go. Glad to hear that. Always fun doing content with you, Austin. And selfishly, I have to ask you this because we're going to be talking about a football bet, but you know I'm a big USC fan. I know we haven't had the greatest transfer portal, greatest offseason here. Seems like it's going to be a pretty bleak year. What should I be excited about as a USC casual fan?
I don't think it's as bad as what people are making it.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like we're kind of ragging on Lincoln Riley a little bit because it's been a little rough. Like I feel like we've gone a little bit too far. I'm sure I'll be kicking myself in one of these. Trying to think of what's their first big game of the year. That'll be like the first, like they'll be losing big, and I'm like, yeah, all right, we're same old USC here. Or actually, it won't be they'll get blown out. They'll blow a lead in the fourth quarter because I believe they had the lead in every game last year in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, some terrible clock management thing or something along those lines.
But yeah, I'm not like bullish. I'm not like holding win totals, but like I think they can surprise some people. For sure.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear. As a guy who loves watching USC play, it's been heart-wrenching to follow that team over the past couple of years, even when Caleb Williams was playing for them. But yeah, anyways, let's get to NFL stuff here. And I'm not going to bury the lead. We kind of, this pick was already given out on the show. Do you want to like change something on the fly? I don't know if Moretto let you know that, but you got pick sniped.
Was it Suma?
No, it wasn't Suma. It was Davis Sanchez.
Oh,
yeah.
So what's funny is Suma and I sent in the same pick.
Really?
Like, yeah. So it's funny. That was who I wanted to pick. And then we were talking about it this morning. And then we both sent it to Alex at like a minute apart from each other. I didn't know I got sniped again though. But yeah, I can go. I don't know if I have can I switch on the fly quick? I don't know. But
I can give you some time here.
Yeah, this is tough. Put on the spot here.
Yeah, putting you on the spot. Like, do you want to go with an alt maybe? Like here, the best part about FanDuel right now is that win totals are being boosted. And I believe alt win totals are also being boosted. So maybe, you know what? Go ahead.
We'll bump it down to under 8.5.
There we go.
I don't love it as much because I was actually on the Suma one with double pick here. I was going to give the alt over on the Raiders. Okay. But yeah, my reasoning for the Commanders is, it's painful because this is one of those bets where like I really enjoy watching Jaden Daniels play the game of football and the quarterback position. There's like you just can't get enough of a guy who can do it with his arms and his legs. And as a rookie last year, it was phenomenal to watch. But I don't like people just assume, and this is like a couple years in a row now we've kind of had this, where like these rookie quarterbacks that have these great first years are just like automatically going to take that normal jump, like what we're expecting out of Caleb Williams in the Bears system. But like Caleb Williams did not have a good first year. So it's a little bit different. Like if he takes another step or like the normal second year jump, we're talking about like a guy that's going to be in the Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson territory. So I guess I'm fading that a bit on top of the fact that they had 8 one-score wins last year. They played in 12 one-score games last year. That just doesn't fit for a team that's going to, win a bunch of games there. And then you look at the schedule. Like, I don't like, is the Bears at home or maybe the Dolphins on the road are like their 2 easiest games? The rest of Giants, maybe. The rest of the games are brutal. So I don't love the schedule. I guess I'm fading Jaden Daniels a little bit, which is kind of painful to say because I really like. I'm like, if this is one of those ones where I'm like rooting for him to do well, but like if the defense could lose them every game, that'd be great for me. But yeah, that's kind of the basis of where I'm at with the Commanders. Is I think we're just like anointing him, kind of like what we did with CJ Stroud. We did this with Justin Herbert a little bit. We're just like, yeah, he's going to be great and he's going to be even better because that's what happens, and that's a tall task. I don't know if that's possible.
No, yeah, I love that. Listen, like these are all the points that we talked about with Davis Sanchez. I'm in full agreement. I don't know if that makes you feel better or makes you feel worse about your pick, but yeah, I'm in full agreement with you on that. But I really think the one way that this goes wrong is that, like you mentioned, like Jaden Daniels does take that leap, does take that jump, and is in that Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen tier of quarterbacks where it's like, holy shit, this guy is like legit the best of the best quarterbacks. So yeah. I like this one.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that might help there, I still look at the schedule and like they played a 4th place schedule last year, and then this year like go up and down it. It's not like there's not many gimmies. Yeah. The NFL doesn't really have gimmies anyway, but like there's not a lot of games where you're like, yeah, they're gonna win a bunch here. So
yeah, should be great. Anything else you're looking forward to in the football season? Like I know you do both NFL and college football stuff. Is there is your favorite day Saturday or Sunday? Because I'm assuming you're watching, you're glued to the TV both days. Do you have a favorite day between the two, or is it like picking between your children?
So it's kind of like I like them both, and they're both, I think, totally different. Like I'm not someone like I'm not grinding like, oh hey, Miami, Ohio, and Buffalo's on. I'm not grinding that on one of my screens. Whereas like in the NFL, I'm kind of keeping tabs on everything that's going on. Obviously, it's much easier with a smaller slate, but like I think the games are bigger on Saturday. Like Texas, Ohio State this Saturday is going to be bigger than like any regular season matchup in the NFL. So that's kind of the difference. So they're both like I get the like nonstop 16 games or whatever it is on Sundays, but then like maybe 3 on Saturday. But the Saturdays that don't have like marquee games, no thanks. That's where I'm like, all right, are we going to a pumpkin patch with the family this weekend? Like that's never happening on a Sunday. That's on a Saturday where there's like a horrible weekend. So
yeah, well, that brings you to a good point on the Hammer Daily. One of the segments I plan on doing is finding the best spot on the weekend to take your girlfriend, wife, or family out to do something fun, because there's always those pockets that you want to do that. You want to plan that accordingly. So a quick plug for the Hammer Daily, which can be caught right here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. We'll be going live every day from noon to 1 p.m. starting next Friday. Austin, thank you so much for joining us here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys.
All right. We can find Austin's work on Twitter at AMOC419. You can find him on The Athletic. You also find us on this network. Sometimes does some stuff with Forward Progress. Probably will be on some watch-alongs as well. Up next, you know him, you love him, from the streets of Detroit. He's the co-host of your favorite college football show, The Hit the Books. And, of course, he's on Circle Back, and he is – I don't know if I can say this, but Moretto wrote it, so I have to say he's the engine of the Hammer Betting Network. I say that as I roll my eyes. Kesh, get up here.
12-cylinder, baby. The engine starting her up, leading this company to glory. With, you know what? I like you. The engine and Giggles here. Two elite nicknames on there. Really enjoying it. I appreciate, Fez for coining, maybe his best work of the year, which isn't great work by the production crew there. The engine in the back, churning. Good to be here. Excited for the daily show and ready to chop it up here. Got one in the bag. Can't wait to see what everybody else gave out, but I'm willing to say this is the best future that's going to be given out on this show, and it's not remotely close.
All right, I believe you. Don't know much about it, though. Don't want to bury the lead here. It's something to
well,
do with
I didn't send it to Moretto until 90 minutes ago. So
you're good.
That's probably why you don't know much about it, because he was supposed to be due yesterday, but I'm not exactly. If you know Joey K, timeless is not his number one strength.
I will give you the pass. You were here early. You were here on time, and that's all that really matters. And you got the pick in, so that's all I really care about. Before we get into your pick, though, I have a question for you.
Hit me, baby.
You've had the pleasure of co-hosting with Brad Powers, had the pleasure with co-hosting with Jacob, being on a show with Jacob, and you've had the pleasure of being on shows with me as well. Who's your favorite host to work with?
All three incredible talents. All three really bring their own strength. I will say, and this, Powers is in a wait. I didn't know who was behind the curtain here. I will say, Powers and CFB, a tier of his own, and he's one that never likes to give himself credit or any of that. But the guy, I think he's the best college football content creator out there, and I genuinely mean that. The show wouldn't be like, listen, I'm good for entertainment and stuff like that, but he is the godfather of CFB. You two, I will say, even though Jacob might be a little bit more polished, you talk at more of a speed that's at that Joey K level. There's sometimes I've had to coach Jacob like this, be like, brother, if you read these three tweets, if it takes you 35 minutes to read, you lost me. You lost me after the halfway through the second tweet. I don't know why you're reading all four of these paragraphs. So I will say we speak at a little bit more of the same level. So it's but hey, I'm blessed to work with all three. And it's just, who's got it better than us, baby? Where would I rather be?
I agree. I love it. 5:30 on a Tuesday. We're here. We're giving out futures bets. No place I'd rather be. Speaking of futures bets, college football, you're looking towards. Did you give this out already on Hit the Books, by the way? Like, are you okay?
So I'll cop out here. I wanted to see Western Kentucky week 1. I needed to see it a little bit. I liked what they did in terms of the offseason, what they brought in, what they were trying to do. They basically, when they did the Bailey Zappi thing at Western Kentucky, they brought over an FCS quarterback, brought over all his teammates, brought over the coach and the system, and just installed it. And they went right back to the well. After a little bit of a down year last year, they went and got the Abilene Christian quarterback, this guy MacGyver. They went and got his offensive coordinator, and they're just running back the thing, basically take an FCS team, that's really good, bring it, install it. I wanted to see it week 1, and baby, it was cooking. It was really cooking. They beat Sam Houston by 17 on this, 41 points, 400 yards passing for MacGyver. Could have been more. They had a couple turnovers in that game. So future of the day, I'm going Western Kentucky to win Conference USA, plus 350 there at FanDuel. I'll say that, I think BP likes Liberty a little bit more than I do, but this price should not be, to me, the 350 to 1 after what I've seen. I think they're significantly better than anybody else that's in the rest of the tiers in this conference. And they don't play Liberty during the season. So there's not even a Liberty game. I think they're obviously already 1-0 in conference with the win over Sam Houston. Then you've got the rest of the conference schedule just sets up really nice for them. I don't even know who the challenger would be for that third spot, but to me, the schedule sets up nice. I loved what I seen in game one in terms of where they're going to be like on offensively, even the defense, which had a ton of turnover. Little bit, there was a lot of questions. They lost I think their top 11 or 12 tacklers. Defense looked great. And again, Sam Houston, not a great team, but defense played well enough with this offense. I think they're going to the title game. And to me, you'd be sitting there with 350 in pocket in the title game against a Liberty team that, give credit to BP, I think is a touch overvalued at this price. And I think that this is, if there's one unit in this entire conference that I think I can trust, it's the Western Kentucky offense, because I love what they did and I saw it game one, and now I'm ready to roll. So fire for me, 350 on the Hilltoppers, baby. Give me the red. Give me that red logo, Jacob. If you can pull up the Hilltopper logo, it's like red, mascot. So love the Toppers. 350 on that one.
All right, love it. Plus 350 Western Kentucky to win the conference. USA,
America's conference, baby.
There we go. 51st state over here up north of the border. Kesh, before I let you go, I know you're. Let's talk a little bit NFL. I know you're a Detroit Lions fan. It's been the sexy thing on the network on Forward Progress to
I've heard
fade the Detroit Lions. I'm down on them. Kirk Evans is down on them. Rob's down on them. Suma's down on them. Everybody on the network is down on them. How do you feel as a Detroit Lions fan, knowing that our network that you put all your blood, sweat, and tears is into? And we're just putting you out to pasture saying the Detroit Lions are cooked this year.
This city was built on grit and being counted out and being the team that nobody wants to be a part of, and everybody's at. And now you've got not only you guys, but guess what? I'll see all these graphics. The most bet against team to miss the playoffs, the Detroit Lions. People don't believe. And you know what? That's very unfortunate for them. It's very unfortunate for your bankroll and those like you that don't want to believe in this, that don't want to believe in Dan Campbell, that don't want to believe in the best organization in the NFL anymore, the best roster top to bottom. Listen, I know the schedule's tough. I know there's been a few preseason injuries. I know all the stuff out there that, could be a little bit. Lions, baby, they're winning the North. They're winning the NFC. This is the year, Super Bowl run. I will say, though, schedule's pretty front-loaded. Let's wait. Maybe, you get a few fluke losses early, then I'll be looking to buy. I wouldn't take a preseason price or any of the prices right now, so I'm not. But I will have some Lions futures at some point during this year. But let's wait until maybe, a couple of early losses, and then we'll get in business here.
I love it. Bring in the energy. Bring in some futures. Bring in multiple futures on the Futures Day Betting Extravaganza show. Joey Knish, always the best. Ball of energy. The motor. The engine.
The
engine. There it is.
The big red. I tell you what. Next time you do the show, if we can get you in one of those, that would be really peak. Hold on. If this cashes, then if Western Kentucky actually wins Conference USA and we cash a 350, then we might work on, a little bit of a Hilltopper costume for somebody at the network.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it would be me. Maybe you put BP in that, but we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out during the season. Maybe we'll do a watch along bet or something like that. That might be the good way to do it. And loser has to wear the Hilltoppers
Toppers, baby,
for a stream. I love it. All right, appreciate it, Knish. Talk to you later.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, see ya. That's at Joey Knish on Twitter. You can follow him at Joey Knish 22 on Twitter. Ball of energy. The motor from the Motor City, the engine from the Motor City. I don't know what we're going to call him, but maybe that's a new nickname for Joey Knish. Up next, we have two more guests, and then we're going to be heading out. We've given out a ton of futures so far. So if you're waiting for Jacobs, it's going to be coming up soon. But up next, he's the co-host of Forward Progress, long-suffering Giants fan, and a man who is always patrolling the streets of Twitter to keep people honest, at Clive Bigsby 41. Clive, get on up here. Is Moretto wrong about that? You're a Giants fan. I thought you were Bears fan. Yeah, I was gonna say, Moretto, do your homework, man. What the heck's going on here? I was reading that. I'm like, this is wrong.
So hurt feelings a little bit. I mean, come on. I think you guys should know me better than that. And I just really want to see the Bears absolutely stomp the Vikings, stomp the Lions, and just absolutely destroy the NFC North.
I love it. But I have a question that I'm going to save for a little bit later. You like how I knew you were a Bears fan, though. I knew that. I'm just reading the notes that I got given because I get notes now. I'm big time apparently. So I just get the notes that I'm giving. I'm gonna have to talk to Moretto about that one because that was a bit of a blunder. But anyways,
I feel misunderstood.
I'll make sure to bring it up in our next meeting. Don't you worry about that. Off season, it's coming to a close.
Yeah.
You obviously bet on the NFL here. What's your off-season process like in terms of making adjustments? Is it busy? Is it light? How do you kind of approach the off-season and get ready for new seasons?
For me, I'm a little bit more on the light side, and for a couple of reasons. One, I do a lot more of my work kind of reacting to the market in season and kind of what I see, where I think there's overreactions, underreactions. Part of the reason is, unlike a lot of huge football fans, unlike your prior guest, Joey K, I am not a huge college guy. So for me, the very small sample I get in preseason isn't really enough for me. So I make like these very small adjustments based on, incoming rookies and things like that. So week one, where it's heavy volume for a lot of people because that's where they think they have their biggest edge, it's actually not for me. And then after I see kind of week one, week two, that's when I start adjusting a little bit more heavily and, look at things like totals, team totals, and, the occasional player prop even there.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And I was just about to ask you about how you adjust for quarterbacks in new situations, quarterbacks coming into the league, things of that nature. But answer my question for me.
Part of what's going to get me to my future, though, is evaluating what I've seen in the past from a certain coach and what he's been able to do with a certain player prior, and whether I think it'll carry over here or not.
All right. Well, why not just take it away then and give us your futures pick right now.
Yeah. So on Fanduel, we're looking at Caleb Williams, which you're going to love. Over 4,000 passing yards. I think the most recent number is plus 175. And, part of this is a fan pick, just being honest. But, I do think that there's merit to it as well. This isn't based on nothing. He hit 3,600 yards roughly last year with the situation that he was in. So I think at plus money, asking him to, get another 10% passing yards isn't really a ridiculous ask or a ridiculous scenario.
No, I agree. And I love it. Like the points of just the new situation, everything we've heard this past offseason about how much of a disaster this Bears coaching staff was, how it was run, the offense just terrible. I love this. I was shocked. Clive, I know you're a Bears fan, but if I'm being honest, the way you talk about Caleb Williams in our group chat, it doesn't seem like you're high on him this year, but then out of nowhere, you're coming in with the Caleb Williams 4,000 plus passing yards. So what's the deal here? Is this a flag plant for you finally?
Yes and no. It doesn't mean that he's going to be the most winning quarterback either, right? But I am higher on him in the situation that we're in this year. Last year, I almost look at it as a preventive measure for his head coach to be able to kind of get him out of those situations where he has to go through things that are complex. I think he's going to bring him into situations and play calls that are easier reads for him, get guys open in space, and take as much of the thought process out of it as you possibly can for him. Mm-hmm. I don't expect them to have an incredibly great running game either. So I think, 4,000 yards, while I did see somebody in our little chat here in the comments, it's never been done by a Bears quarterback, but there's lots of things that have never been done that, eventually do get done. I don't think it's a crazy number at plus money for him to be able to hit that.
No, I completely agree with you there. And it's, I will say there's never been a Bears quarterback who's been like Caleb Williams and had a great offensive coordinator at the same time. So there you go. Before we head off, before I let you out of here, what's the thing you're most looking forward to this NFL season?
Honestly, just in terms of the Bears, really seeing if this head coaching move translates to making Caleb Williams better. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. For me, that is what I'm most excited about. I do think more and more on the converse side, right? Like Vrabel as a head coach and the way that he's been in the past with, being super conservative and I'll call it more of a playing not to lose mindset with some of the decision making when they have the ball. Like coaches like that, I think we're going to start seeing them get more and more phased out if they don't adapt a little bit in terms of like their aggressiveness. So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, is how these head coaching changes continue to help evolve the NFL and what's going to happen from there.
No, that's a great thing to look forward to. I love that. Always a great mind, and you can catch Clive on Forward Progress YouTube channel. Just search FWD Progress HQ on YouTube. Go subscribe if you haven't already. I believe you and Rob are still doing your. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't reveal the schedule. I feel like Rob's going to fire me because I think that has not been revealed yet. But anyways, you'll be on some shows next year. That's all that really matters.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that too.
All right. Appreciate you, Clive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Later.
All right. Talk to you later. That was Clive Bigsby at Clive Bigsby 41. Find him on Twitter. Likes to keep it real in the streets of the Twitter streets. Keeping people honest, especially my number one friend there, Steve Fezzik, who's down 80 units this year. Just a reminder for everyone. Anyways, last guest of the show. You guys have been asking for him. We've been waiting. He's a pro sports bettor. He's the CEO of the Hammer Betting Network. He's my good friend who I'm going to be doing watch-alongs with all year. Mr. Bobby Pizza himself. Jacob, bring him up here. Rob, before we get started, I know you've been watching the show because you have to. I need a performance review from you. How have I been doing so far?
I'll say it definitely started out a little bit shaky. I could see the nerves setting in at the beginning there. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've thought to myself, we built an entire show around this guy in Hammer Daily, and he can't even put a sentence together for the first 5 minutes of this stream. So after that, you seem to settle in. You developed a rapport with some other people. I don't know why you think I would fire you for promoting Forward Progress this year. I mean, we've let you survive for like the last 3 years with several fuck ups. Never mind like not promoting a show. But overall, I will say maybe I'm a tough grader. I'll say a C+.
All right, C+. That's better than the grades I used to get in school, so I'll take that.
That does not surprise me.
I think the notes for next year is maybe change the word extravaganza. It's too big for me to read. Let's struggle with those long words.
I mean, honestly, I would have set plus 200 on that being spelled properly in the title today. So Jacob must have made the title, right? Not you.
We'll give him the credit for that. We'll give him the credit for that one because I definitely would not have put that together. Yeah, okay, good to know. Performance review, C+. I'm not getting fired for promoting Forward Progress. The only thing I was worried about was burying the lead and kind of taking away from the schedule reveal that we're going to be having on Twitter. Go follow us on Twitter at FWD Progress HQ if you're going to want to see that. But Jamil with a great comment. C+ for me, but a relative A+ relative to the watch-alongs last year. I thought the watch-alongs are some of my best work, but maybe I was wrong.
As Gennaro Gattuso famously once said, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Those are your performances, I think, in the watch-alongs last year.
Gattuso, is that like a Italian soccer manager, or is that?
Well, he was a player. He was a midfielder, but then became a manager, yes.
Oh, Gattuso. I didn't know that was his first name. Not really big. Yeah. Not really a big soccer guy, but I know you are, right? You're a big soccer fan.
I mean, I don't know if you're trying to tee me up for my future right now, but I mean, everyone is zigging towards football, right? I mean, the entire futures board is available to us here, and we've had another type of football that just started recently, so that's where I'm going.
All right, then take it away.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I'm a big Italian soccer fan. You don't have to give me the whole spiel about like, the Italian league sucks, because it does suck. I know that. I completely get it. There's no money in Italy anymore, but that doesn't mean that we can't make some money off of Italian soccer. So Napoli won the Scudetto last year. Napoli did not have to play any European competition last year, and they beat Inter by 1 point. No games in Europe. All they had to do was focus on the league, which they did, and they did successfully. Inter went all the way to the Champions League final. They played a lot of games. I believe that this market is #wrong team favored. I'm taking Inter to win the Serie A this year at plus 240. plus 240 converts to 29.4% implied probability. That is, listen, there's much better soccer bettors than me out there. This price is wrong. They are going to win the league way more than 1 out of 3 times. I think this is a really good bet. So I'll start with Napoli. Napoli doesn't have their striker, Romelu Lukaku, for 3 to 4 months. They don't have the bench. They're just not deep enough to survive having to play European competition as well as league games this year. Juventus, in my opinion, is the only... If a team wins the Serie A this year that's not Napoli, Inter, or Juventus, I'll give Jason a 50% pay raise, because it ain't happening. It's not happening. But Juventus is also not deep enough as a team. They have Dusan Vlahovic as a striker who they're trying to unload. They can't unload him because his salary's so high, so they cannot build a competent bench until they get rid of this guy. He doesn't want to take a pay cut. It's a complete disaster. Inter is by far the most complete team. So when you have all these teams that are going to be playing in Europe and in Italy, they have the deepest bench. They can rotate players in and out and still have a lot of success. Napoli, the favorite on the board. People cream their pants when they signed Kevin De Bruyne, who's now like 34 years old. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but it doesn't move the needle as much as people think. So I'm going to go with another type of football here. I think that this is mispriced. We lose a little bit of value because Inter won 5-0 to beat Torino to start the season. They were plus 270 before the season started. But I'm going to plant a flag here and say this is a horrendous price across the entire market, which I never do, especially markets as big as soccer. But I follow the league closely, and I don't believe that this is accurate. So that's going to be it for me. Inter Milan plus 240.
Inter Milan plus 240 to win the Serie A. And Rob, I know you are a Juventus fan, as I believe you mentioned. Are you usually this disloyal to your own team? I know you're slightly disloyal when it comes to the Cowboys and the betting markets. Is this a common occurrence for other sports as well? It seems like it.
You know what? When you're betting on sports, you got to be a realist, right? Like, I'm a fan first and foremost. If I lose money and Juventus wins the title this year, I'll take it. I mean, I'm not going to be upset about that. But I'm a realist. And at the end of the day, I'd love to see them return to prominence at some point in Italy, but I just don't think that they will. I still think this is Inter's league, even though they didn't win it last year.
All right. Well, I know that people are happy that you gave out a future. A little bit sad that you're not giving out a football future. But if they were wondering where they could find maybe football future from you, or maybe like a season preview, where and when would that be?
Yeah, so Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, over on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. We're doing a 2-hour season preview. We're going to go team by team. It's myself, G-Stack George, Suma. You've seen them all on the stream so far today. We're going to give our opinions, and we're also going to share some opinions from people who won't be on the stream that are other Forward Progress creators as well. A lot of the feedback that we got last year, which, by the way, keep it coming. Comments help. Tweets at us, DMs, whatever you got to do to get your point across. I do value all of it. And a lot of it was, we just want more opinions on the channel. That's totally fine. I get it. We don't want to be giving out hundreds upon hundreds of picks, because that's not going to do anyone any good. But certainly getting different people to give opinions, I think, is valuable. We're going to lean into that a lot on Forward Progress this year with the schedule that we got going. We're dividing up the Best Bets show into 2 this year. So we'll have an early week on Tuesday, a late week on Thursday, different creators a part of that. We're also leaning into what people do best. So Judah will be doing some SGP stuff for us this year. Hitman will be joining us in the fourth quarters of watch-alongs, where people really seem to enjoy him in that spot as he's sweating out the remainder of his bets. He's also we're going to be leaning into his props on the weekend as well. So everybody's kind of being fit to the mold of what they do best this year. So check it out, Forward Progress on YouTube, and then mark your calendar, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch it after the fact, but sometimes these things move when we do live shows. Can't guarantee that numbers will be around forever. So tune in live if you can.
All right. Sounds good. And I checked my email earlier today. Nothing in there in terms of my opinions or questions of my opinions. I'll check my junk mail after the show.
Again, we're incorporating the user feedback, and Jamil hit me up He said, dude, you lost me halfway through the season with all this takes by Jay stuff. So minimal takes by Jay, but the watch-alongs, you'll be there for both of them, Mondays and Thursday night. Sunday nights, we're going to be doing Twitter Spaces. Immediately after the Twitter Spaces, me and Clive will be live recapping the week that was, previewing the next week as well. So lots of stuff on Forward Progress this year. Make sure you're subbed there.
Sounds good. Make sure you're subbed there because I'll be there too. But yeah, Rob, I appreciate it. That's about it from you. So I'm going to kick you out the door so I can make my futures pick coming up here. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I'll see you on Thursday.
I thought I was getting the last pick of the show.
No. I had Moreno move some things around just to make sure that I got the last pick. I had to get the last word in here. So
can you at least let Jacob get the last word?
No. Jacob's going to go before me, and then I'm going to give my pick. I want to keep people around for the longest amount of time.
Yeah, I
possible.
think like with YouTube, right? With the way that the algorithm works, you want to keep the viewers right till the end, or else the channel suffers. So, that's kind of where I was going with this.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Anyways, appreciate it, Rob.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, that was Rob Pizzola, CEO of the Hammer Betting Network, pro sports bettor, and someone who really likes my football takes. Give him that. All right, up next, Jacob. We gave out 13 picks, I believe. I think we got 13 picks so far. You're going to be 14th.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 15th. You said you had 2. If you want to give out 2, you're more than welcome to.
I'll give out 2. I have 2 ready, so I'll just give them both out.
Okay. If you want to give out 2, then that's good. Quickly before you do, Circles Off released this morning. I got to Circle Back released this morning on the Circles Off YouTube channel. Got to keep asking this question. How does it feel being on the wrong side of history when it comes to the Fez interaction?
I think I have to take the most amount of blame for the way it's kind of spiraled here, because I was the first one who kind of brought up the. I think I'm the first one who made it negative about you. I don't think anybody else was spinning it that way until I kind of did, and it's not like they're just. I did everything I said online. I said to Jason when he told me about it right away. So it's not like I went behind Jason's back to kind of roast him in front of everybody, but. I do take a little bit of blame. I didn't think it would get to this level, but I stand by what I said.
All right, fair. Listen, if you want to be on the wrong side of history, that's okay. You're gonna have to tell your kids this. It's on you.
I think about there's people there at Bet Bash I didn't like and didn't want to talk to who came up to me as if we were buddy. So and I didn't like that. So I can understand why Fezzik would feel that way. That's what I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. Well. If you haven't listened to the Circle Back episode today on the Circles Off YouTube channel, please make sure you go do that. It was a good episode.
Another banger, as always. Please go check it out.
Very good stuff. Jeff always on point. Kirk surprisingly did well this year, but yeah. All right, let's just get into it, Jacob. You give us your future, and
so how about I go with one of mine, then we go to you, then we go back to me.
No. You're giving 2. I'm giving the last one here. This is my show. I get to pick what happens now.
All right. So, I have one on brand one, which I'll save for the second one I go with. But the first one that I was legitimately would give out on the show today. We're going to go into the NBA world as the former host of the on the board YouTube channel for the pick and roll live streams with Pips NBA. Obviously, my domain there wasn't in the betting space. I was more so just acting as a host, as Jason has done so far today. I wasn't providing necessarily the insight, unlike my co-host Pips NBA. But I do dabble with NBA betting, and I do like to dive into the futures market. And one futures bet that kind of stood out to me as one that just didn't look right when I brought it up, and that's in relation to the Boston Celtics. Now, I try to eliminate as much bias as possible here. I am a Toronto Raptors fan. I am a massive hater of the Boston Celtics as well. But the Boston Celtics, you have to give credit to them, are a very good organization and know how to capitalize on their seasons. This season is going to be a very difficult one. They're going to be missing Jason Tatum for most, if not all, of the season. They've done a lot of cost-cutting maneuvers as a result in the offseason that has made the team worse. And I think the Boston Celtics are comfortable with not being that good of a team and will be comfortable missing the playoffs as well. Now, that is going to be the bet. It's the Boston Celtics to miss the playoffs at +162, available at Fanduel. And just there's a few reasons why I feel pretty strongly about this one here. Again, I think most notably for me is that I think that the Boston Celtics do find themselves in a position where they're in and around the play-in tournament, and FanDuel has them at plus 110 to make the play-in tournament. I think that this is going to be a team that's like, we've won an NBA championship. Our desires next season are to win an NBA championship when Jason Tatum returns. Making the play-in tournament is not going to be something that helps this team win a championship next season, and we probably don't have a very good shot at winning it this season. I think that this is going to be a team that's very comfortable with not making the play-in tournament. And if they're in that range near the end of the season, they will do what they can to not be in the play-in tournament. So I feel like I'm a little bit lower on the Boston Celtics than the market is, because I think right now their win projection, or at least their win total, is it's either 6th or 7th in the Eastern Conference. So they'll be right around the bubble of like getting into the playoffs or making the play-in tournament. I have them a little bit lower than that. And I think if they are a little bit lower than that, they won't have a strong desire to be in the play-in tournament. And I think getting the plus money here is a strong position. Like plus 162 is much higher than I was anticipating this number to be. So I feel very good about the Celtics plus 162.
All right, there you go. Celtics plus 162.
I mean, on top of that, sorry, just like add on.
You're good.
The roster isn't very good. I don't have a lot of faith in this roster. I think Jaylen Brown is overrated, and I think this season will showcase it. I don't think Anthony Simons is the point guard that's going to lead this team, if he's even with this team. Derek White's a complementary piece, more so like he's an ancillary piece. He's an amazing ancillary piece, but he's not a lead piece. So Chris Boucher is going to get a big role with your team. That's not a good sign for you making the playoffs, with all due respect. All right, now I'm finished on that one.
All right, no, that was great stuff. Great analysis. Wish I could give you more on some basketball stuff, but yeah, I just know that.
Well, that's what we got the Hammer Daily for.
Yeah, there we go. Hammer Daily, as seen on this channel for the next for this foreseeable future, starting Friday, September 5th, noon to 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Jason, of course, is your gracious host, but I will be there 4 times a week in the producer role. I can't believe I'm working for Jason 4 times a week.
No, it's not for. It's with. Realistically, it's going to be with. It's going to be a good time.
Right.
It's going to be a good time. Us to bounce some stuff back and forth. I'm going to be looking forward to talking all sports, including darts. I know you're a big darts guy, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on you, making sure you're not watching darts mid-show. Because funny story, when we were on the plane to Vegas, I was passed out for majority of the flight. I wake up, I look over to my left, I see Jacob, and he's on his phone watching video, and he's watching a darts stream on the plane. I don't even know how you were able to do that, but you're a big darts guy.
Yeah, so thankfully Rob hooked us up with Porter Airlines. We didn't have to suffer through the Air Canada strike. On the way there, I actually watched an old World Championship final, one of my favorite ones. That was what I watched on the way there, which I downloaded on YouTube. You have a premium account, you can download on YouTube. That's my subtle flex. On the way home, actually, we had a red-eye flight, but there was a darts event going on. Sorry about my dog. There's a darts event going on in New Zealand. I think it was New Zealand or Australia. So we did have overnight darts, and that was actually on while we were on our flight home. So I did have that on a little bit when I wasn't sleeping. But I am a very big darts fan. As far as the professional circuit, the PDC, I watch every single event pretty much. It's hard to keep up with like players championship events because there's 128 players, but I'm watching all of the events. So I decided to be on brand for my second play. I kind of wanted to make it like my first play a darts play, my only play a darts play just for the brand. But because of the nature of like darts futures and the difficulty in finding those, the really only what's available right now is like Moto Super Series, which I'm not a big watcher of, and just PDC World Championship at the end of the season. So I don't need to harp on too much about this one because nobody's going to really know what I'm talking about. But the bet for this one, as I battle my dog right here, is going to be James Wade to win the PDC World Championship in 2026. Now, the reason we're going for this, as I pull up the market here, is that James Wade has been one of the highest performing players on the circuit this year when it comes to the majors. He hasn't always brought that to the Euro Tours or the Players Championship events, but at the majors, he's been fantastic. He's lost 2 of the finals to Luke Littler. He lost the UK Open final in pretty devastating fashion, and the World Match Play, where he was actually quite competitive, was up 5-0 in that one, and it was the first to 18. Ended up losing by 4 or 5 legs, I think, but definitely knows how to bring it for these major events. Now, the thing is, he hasn't in his career. This is just one of the majors he hasn't won. This is the major he hasn't won. He's arguably the best player of all time to never win the PDC World Championship. He will admit himself in the World Championship. It's set format rather than leg format, so you have to win it. So it's Instead of going first to however many legs you win, you have to win sets, which is first to 3. And he's never quite wrapped his head around that. But I feel like the way he's playing this year, I think the possible route to the final he's going to have, I think that plays very nicely into this. I think as the 5 or 4 seed, he'll probably be the 5 seed of the World Championships. He won't have to go through Luke Littler likely in the World Championship to get to the final. His collision course would be the actual final itself. His collision course semifinal would be somebody like Luke Humphreys, who hasn't had a great season. So plus 5,000 in the end is just not the right price for this one. He's been lumped in with players he should be definitely ahead of here. He should definitely be in the higher tier here of players. He should be along the lines of your Gary Anderson, Stephen Buntings, maybe even up to Gian Van Veen, the way James Wade has been playing this season. It's just the wrong price here. It's not the right price. That's why we're going to go with James Wade. Now, that was too much talking for something nobody cares about other than me.
I love it. I like anytime I can hear someone speak about something they're passionate about. I always have to. I always get enamored with it. You drew me in. Listen, Yen Van Veen. Don't know who that is.
Yen.
Oh, Yen. Sorry about that. Luke Littler, though, I know who that is. Point him out on the map. The oldest looking 18-year-old I've ever seen in my entire life. One of the best darts player in the world. But that's about all my darts knowledge. The best darts player.
But world number 2. Notably likely for the World Championships because of the way the ranking system works.
Interesting stuff. Well, appreciate that, Jacob. Gonna take us out of the show here. You can stick around because I think you're gonna like my.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear it.
Because I'm gonna be looking towards the. Listen, when I'm gonna give out a bet here, I want to try and give something out that I haven't given out on this network before. Did a lot of off-season content for Forward Progress. Talked a lot of bets there. Most notably, the first one to cash was Spencer Radler, starting court. Knock on wood, hasn't cashed yet, but he was announced as the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, plus 270. Could have grabbed that way early on in the season. If anybody knows ball, you know that Tyler Shuck sucks. So going to pat myself on the back for that one. Already up way more than Fezzik is in the football season. But yeah, we're going to look towards something I haven't bet yet. And we're going to go towards the playoff market. And we're going to go to make playoffs. And we're going to scroll. And we're going to scroll. And we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. The team that is listed third last on the odds boards, we're going to take the New York Giants at plus 710 to make the playoffs. They are being priced in as the third worst team in the NFL. And that may be true, but I'm going to say there's a good chance that the market is wrong on this team because their range of outcomes of all the teams that are beside them, if you look at the teams beside them, the Titans, the Jets, the Saints, the Cleveland Browns, they by far have a much wider and much higher upside case than all those teams. Their quarterback situation is their biggest unknown. I think Russell Wilson is a lot better than people give him credit for. I don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't think he's the top 20 quarterback in the league, but I still think he's in that middling 25-ish range. And I think that's fair to say. And listen, with him throwing to Malik Neighbors, I think things are going to be looking really good for this offense. On top of that, last year, Daniel Jones, I don't think he's anywhere near the top 30 quarterback in the league. So it's a massive quarterback upgrade with Russell Wilson. And that's not even mentioning Jackson Dart, who, I mean, if preseason isn't a great indicator, but he's looked great this preseason. I'm a believer in Jackson Dart. I think he's a good quarterback. If he steps in, I think the upside case is there for this team to have a really, I don't want to say boom offense, but a much better offense than people are projecting. And then you get to their defense, and you look at their defensive line, and you look at it and you say that this legitimately could be, if Abdul Carter turns out to be Micah Parsons, which he's projected to be in year one, this is the best defensive line in football, without a doubt. And it's going to cause absolute havoc for opposing teams' quarterbacks. So you take an offense that has sneaky upside. You take a defense that has a really strong pass rush that's going to make quarterbacks struggle. I know they have a tough schedule. I know they play in a tough division. But I'm really, really high on the New York Giants this year. And I didn't want to give something out that's like a minus 150 and a plus 150. I wanted to shoot for the moon here. And I think at plus 710, I think that's a really good price on the New York Giants to make the playoffs in 2025. I will say, quick plug on Twitter, FanDuel was boosting the to make to miss playoff markets earlier in the day between 1 and 3 p.m. You could have got them at around plus 1050 to make the playoffs. 1070, thank you, to make the playoffs. And I tweeted that out. So if you bet that, you follow me on Twitter, you got that. If you didn't follow me on Twitter, then go follow me on Twitter. What are you doing? So, Jacob, I know you're a Giants fan. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. I think the price, they're a little bit underpriced. I don't think this team is going to make the playoffs, but you're taking this at plus 710. This is an extraordinarily scary defensive line, and there are going to be games in which they can just grind out some wins in some of these ugly, low-scoring games. It may not be the prettiest game to watch as a neutral, but this is going to be a scary defense. And like you said, with Jackson Dart and some of the other quarterbacks, my square take, there's three of them. One of them's got to be able to figure it out. Like, we've got three guys who could be a starter. Maybe one of them turns into a starting caliber quarterback this season amongst those three.
No, I love that. And I still have faith in the coaching staff. I still have faith in Brian Daboll. I think he can run a good offense if he's just given a quarterback that he can actually use. I just really think he was shafted with Daniel Jones there for a little bit.
He played into it a bit himself. I think there was clearly some turmoil in that relationship.
Of course. So that wraps it up for us here. Jacob, appreciate you joining me. Quick reminder for everyone, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you can catch me every single weekday starting Friday, September 5th, here on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button for the Hammer Daily. It's daily talk show, daily sports show. We're going to be talking college football, NFL, NBA, darts, NHL, golf, tennis, whatever you can imagine. We're going to be talking about it throughout the week. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you're interested in just sports talk in general, it's where you're going to want to be. And also, we're going to be giving sharp takes, not from me, but from our wide variety of very smart guests we have on this channel. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, we're going live September 5th, and it's going to be airing weekly, Monday to Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., noon to 1 p.m. And this was a lot of fun. This is kind of like a little soft intro for the show. So appreciate everyone who's joined us along the way. It's been the Hammer. This has been the Futures Betting Extravaganza presented by Fanduel here on the Hammer Betting Network. Reminder, subscribe, so you can get a daily dose of me every Monday to Friday starting September 5th. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to see you next Friday. The Hammer Daily is presented by FanDuel. We hoped you liked the episode. We are deeply committed to responsible gaming. Please visit fanduel.com/playwell to learn more about the resources and helplines available to you. Must be 21 plus, 18 plus in DC, and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, DC, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Vermont, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.